All right, I came in there real creepy. Anyway, hey guys, welcome back. My name is Meg, for those that don't know me. So I'm going to do this a little different today, and we're going to sit because I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's been a long week this year, right? Pretty sure everybody can agree on that one. So before we start, I'll go over a few things. I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Meg. For those that don't know me, I've actually been teaching at a studio for the past 3 years. So I wanted to take this time since everything shut down. And I know a lot of people are out of work and, may not be able to afford to pay for the classes that people are offering for small fees. But I did want to be able to share the art with everybody. So for those tuning in, the colors that you're going to need for this lovely little painting, we're going to do a little beachy scene. Not really beachy, I guess the ocean more. So you're going to need blue. You're going to need some yellow. If you have magenta, you can either do a lighter magenta or a darker one, whichever you have on hand. For those that actually want to do this and don't necessarily have the painting materials like canvas and stuff, you can always do this on paper, construction paper, computer paper. If you have sketchbooks, you don't have to use paints. You can use crayons, markers, colored pencils, any other type of medium, that you may have at home. But get creative, use what you have. If you don't have paints, it's all right. You could do this still and try it another way. So we're going to use also purple, back to our colors. I think I kind of jumped off there. And white. We don't need any black for this painting, so that's good. So that covers it. So you need white, blue, pink, or magenta, a lighter, darker ones, because they come in different shades sometimes. Some white, yellow, purple. So I think that pretty much covers it. If you don't have purple, as long as you have your primary colors, you can still get the job done with that. So I'm just going to slide this on over. And we're going to do this together. So you're going to need 2 brushes, a nice big brush, and a smaller one for the details. Make sure you have a cup of water, your palette, or a paper plate. Also, what works is old egg carton. If you have an old egg carton, if you kind of cut that up, you can use that to set up your paints. You can use a piece of plastic, piece of cardboard. That's what I'm saying. Get creative. You don't necessarily have to have all the materials to do this at home on your own. All right, so with my big brush, I'm going to make sure it's nice and clean because I used it earlier. So the first color we're going to end up going into, we're going to work light and up to the top, and then we'll jump back into that blue. The blue is pretty heavy there, so we can take our time with going into the darker colors. All right, so let me just get a little more white paint on here. All right, so with your big brush, get a nice big fat slappy old brush, however old or new your supplies are, whatever works for you. So with some white paint, we're going to go into that pink. So I got white and pink on my brush. And find about the center part of your canvas, your roundabout. Once you have your center picked out, you're going to go ahead and start to fill that about a quarter of the way, or you can use your 4 fingers just to kind of give you an idea of where to kind of go up to. So you don't have to wash your brush. You can bring that pink up You're going to add just the pink now. You don't really need to put too much white. Bring it up. Almost middle of that top section there. So again, don't wash your brush. Now you're going to go into that blue paint. So I got some blue in there. I'm going to go right over where the two colors meet real quick, and then I'll start moving my way up. Now we'll add some white to the mix. So a little bit of white and blue, and start moving the rest of the way up. And you're going to pretty much fill that now the rest of the way up your canvas. So I didn't add any more white. I just went right back into the blue up to that top section. There's enough white still on your brush that you really don't need to do it. So where these two meet, I'm going to go into that purple paint just to add a little more color of purple in there. And then I'm going to wash out my brush. So you always want to kind of swish it around, paint the inside of your water cup. Gets all that paint out. Now just with a wet brush, where both those two lines meet of color, I'm going to blend them together. So just with a clean brush, you can usually get a nice line of blending going from that. So now we got a faded sky. So you wash off, you're going to go down to the bottom. So with the bottom, we're going to need white and blue. Now I'm using two different blues. I have a lighter blue and a darker blue. I'm going to go with the darker blue this time to the water. And start filling this in down here. Keep going with the white and the blue. Hopefully you guys are hanging in there. Here comes my munchkin. Okay, babes, I knew that was coming. Perfect timing anyway. So while you guys are waiting for your background to dry for a minute, I'll just step away so I can go help my child use the restroom. Potty time, potty time. So we're gonna let this all dry for just a minute. So keep going. back. So far, should be along these lines. Now, if you want, you can darken up some areas with some purple. It'll kind of be in correspondence to where we have the two clouds up top here. So if you want to do that, throw some of that purple in there for you guys. And I'll add a little blue to my brush too, so it's not too purple. There we go. Got some of that color in there where we're going to throw those purple clouds up top. So the rest we're going to let dry for another minute. So you can go ahead and get some yellow ready. We're going to go back up to this area. If you're nice and dry, you can go ahead and continue on. So with some yellow paint, and I'm using some nice yellow here, bright yellow. So a little bit of yellow. I'm going to get a little bit of pink. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of pink. And right in this area here, we want to create the sunset. So a little bit of yellow. We'll make it a nice little orange tone right there. He's watching Blaze and the Monster Machines. So just add some more of that yellow in there. And then I'm going to go back, wash out my brush. And I'm going to add a little more pink and white just to kind of blend that out a little more on the sides. So a little more pink and white. Just to really blend those little edges there. There we go. Alright, so hopefully you guys are hanging in there still. Here we go. So far, so good. So right here, we're going to start to add in our sunset. Oops, sorry guys. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush now, the one that we're going to use more for details. So something like this is good. Even if you have something along the lines of what we used, I believe, the last time, which is like this. So either one works. So you want to make a little bit of an orange. Very subtle though. So a little bit of pink or magenta and some yellow. Make a little tint of orange. Now, if you're not good at making circles, you can use, if you have something like this, you can use that, pencil it, trace it, use that to make your circle if you'd like. It is pretty helpful. You want to be able to see that yellow still, so it doesn't fully blend out into your background. So now you got your little sun in there. I'm actually going to add a little bit of light. just so it really stands out. There we go. And there is your sun. So that's all we're going to use a little brush for right now. I'm going to go back now to the big brush. So if you have your big brush, go ahead and grab that. Clean it off. Wash it out. So back to this brush. You want to open up your bristles. Now if you don't have a brush that looks like this, if you have one that has bristles like this, that will get the job done for you also. So I'm going to go with this brush. Make sure my bristles are nice and opened up. I'm going to take a little bit of white, tap it out in the middle of my plate. Take a little bit of blue, tap it out in the middle of the plate. It should make a nice light blue. And you're going to get something along, the lines of that. So tap it out, tap, tap. Literally, I'm just making sure it keeps my bristles nice and open. So we have to add in your blue, the lighter blue clouds that are kind of fading out into the background of your sky there. So what you're going to do is tap out. And now this part, as you can see, this is going to start jumping. So if you need to hold your canvas or whatever, just make sure you have a good grip on it so it doesn't fall down on you. But we're going to tap it out, creating some fade out clouds in the back of our sky there. This painting has lots of colorful clouds in it. So tap it in there. Because you did a combination of the white and the blue, it gives it some dimension and it kind of gives it a little bit of shading and going on. So it gives it a nice cloudy effect. So just adding a few along that middle area there. We don't need too much. Let's see if I can keep this back up here so you guys get a nice little reference. So you just did your light blue clouds up top here. Now you're going to wash out. Actually, you don't have to wash it, but you don't need to get any more white. Now you're going to do just the blue. So just the blue, same thing, tap it out. Want to get those bristles nice and opened up. And we're going to just do another few little layers of the blue clouds now, the darker blue. And don't be afraid to overlap and go over some of the light ones that we did, because we're going to do all that anyway. That's good. We want that. So just a couple of clouds, random spots in your sky. Tap it out, squiggle it around. So once you have the light blue and you add in your darker blue, then you can wash out your brush. Now again, if you have purple, use it. If you like the way that the purple comes out better when you mix your pink and the blue or the red and the blue together, that usually kind of tends to be a little less transparent, as the purple tends to be alone on its own. So totally up to you, whichever way you want to do it. But just make sure you clean out your brush again. You want to get all that paint out, because now we're going to mix a little bit of blue and red or pink. I'm going to make a purple. I want a nice deep purple. So with that deep purple, we're going to do these big clouds that are up in the corner here and down on the bottom. So pretty much the same thing that we were doing for the other ones. You're going to tap. It gives it a little bit of texture and dimension. And then this one will have come in 1, 2 little pieces coming in. Same thing though, just tap it out. Then we're going to have a nice little area here. Lots of clouds. This is like a nice big section of purple cloud going on. These like really fading out to the back. And then we'll have a little whisper go across. Really amazed. Displays and the monster machines. Any other parents losing their shit after listening to all these kids' cartoons all day long? Start singing them in your sleep. Pretty sure I'm not the only one here. We'll add some up here because they don't want to be lonely all down on the bottom by itself. And wherever you think that you want to add a little more of that purple in there. If you want to go back and add more blue, go for it. So those darker clouds are the ones that holds the nice heavy rainfall there. So we'll let all that dry for a second, because we're going to add some pink in there. But I want to give this a minute to dry. We're going to go back down to the bottom here. And I want to add the reflection into the water. So pink first. So pretty in pink. What's up, kiddo?
I'll cause them a weight.
You need help?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Get out of the camera. You're in your underwear, kid. Alright, so now with your big brush, clean that out, get some pink on there. So just your pink. Some pink. Now make sure you get all of that out if you can, because it's a pain in the butt. So get all that out. You're gonna go back into your pink. And we're gonna go ahead and start adding in our little reflection from the water of the sky. And where the cloud sits, you're gonna jump over, leave a little gap. Keep working your way down. Down to the bottom. And if you want, you can go ahead and start adding in some white streaks into your water. We are going to add the sun reflecting on here, but I do want to give that a second to dry. So if you want to start adding in some of the white water caps and reflecting off the sun, little shimmers, you can. I like to use brushes that look like this because they're just better for it. Same thing, tap it. Now you won't need too much on your brush, so you actually, once you get the paint on, you kind of actually want to just wipe it off on your napkin, very little, and then you can. Nice and light. You don't want to push hard because we don't want big globs and streaks across it. We want it nice and light. Unless you like that style, then that's on you. Go for it. I do encourage you to go ahead and try different things, play around techniques. This is for you to do at home for fun, so why not? And some people just need a little outlet from this craziness and looking at what's going on the news. So hopefully this is a nice little relaxing thing for you guys to do at home with your own materials. So there's little bits of water in there. Little bits of water. So once you have that, our top should be dry enough that we can go back up there. So with your smaller detail brush, we can go back in You're going to get some pink, so I'm using this one. I'm going to go back into the pink paint. Just like that. And I'm going to create lines underneath the clouds. It's reflecting off the water and off the sun. So you want to add some streaks underneath. Little bits of pink in there. Do some nice big streaks down here. Those big old huge clouds. And up down. Same thing. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. And then same thing, only the purple ones really need the reflection. Those are the only ones that seem to like that extra. Purple and pink are kind of one together over here. So you're adding in your pink inside your purple there. So once you have the pink on the purples, you can go ahead, if you want to add a little bit on some of the blue, you can, but it's not really needed. Not really needed. Alright, so once you have your pink, you're going to go ahead and wash off your brush again. Hey guys, for those that are just tuning in, so you're going to clean off your brush, nice and clean. Now we're going to go back into the white paint and yellow. So I got some white and yellow both on my brush. I'm going to go right to where my sun is, come straight down. We're going to start off wide and we're going to come down because this is perspective. As you get, closer to us, it's going to be smaller and bigger as it's further away. So you want to nice and wide. And then you start thinning it out as you work your way down. The reflection won't need to be as wide. Until it just kind of tapers off to nothing. So once you have added your yellow sun streak down there, your last step is to sign your name, which I didn't do on this one. So once you're all done, just sign your name. And you guys just made it through another class. Woohoo! Thanks for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. And I will be back again on tomorrow. If you guys want me to. I'll be back for you. And if not, actually, for those that did watch, I'm going to be adding all of these videos to my YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I want to try to continue to keep pumping these out for you guys at home that are bored and losing your minds and just need something, a new hobby, a new outlet, some way to relax, find out if you're actually good, who knows. So tune in again. I'll be back. Check out my YouTube page and share this. I am trying to get this out to everybody and anybody that, enjoys art, and just maybe right now with everything going on, people can't afford to pay for classes online. I want to give people the opportunity to still be able to participate in things like this. So please go ahead and share online. Thanks, guys. See you again next time.